Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is 7 o'clock. We'll call the Common Council meeting to order, and I will ask our clerk to call the roll to establish a quorum.
Alderperson Keene. Here. Novak. Here. Noling. Here. Brote.
Here.
Turner.
Here.
Weigel.
Here.
Grisham. Here. Grobe. Here. Haas.
Here. We have a quorum. Please rise if you are able and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance, which will be led this evening by Alderwoman Keene.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. We have no public hearings this evening under Part D, so we will go right to Part E, which is public participation. This is where the council may receive information from members of the public during this 30-minute period. Each speaker must announce to the council his or her name and address, sign in at the podium, and limit your comments to one statement of no more than 5 minutes. The council cannot take action on the topics raised by the speakers, nor will they discuss the topics with the speakers. Is there anybody that wishes to address the council under public participation? Please come up to the microphone or podium.
Good evening. My name is Shirley Fisher. I live at 1748 South 70th Street. I don't know if this is the proper forum to discuss this, but I've talked to the West Dallas Police, I've talked to the neighbors, I've talked to everybody till I'm kind of blue in the face. I have people walk their dogs 4:30 in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning, 7 o'clock in the morning, 2 in the evening, 4 in the evening, 6 in the evening, 9 at night. And I've asked them a million times. I've showed them, I have pictures of you letting your dog come all the way into my yard and poop, and you're refusing to pick it up. That's not fair to me. So I have an issue. I want a fence, but West Dallas doesn't allow you to put a fence in the front of your house. So I don't know what to do anymore. I have no clue. I hope somebody here tonight can give me some insight on this problem. Is this getting out of hand? And I'm not the only person complaining. I see signs up and down the neighborhood. People are posting signs, please pick it up, but they're not doing it. And it's not fair.
I'll just say, Ms. Fisher, if you can stick around until we break for recess, we can talk to you one-on-one.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Does anybody else wish to address the council under public participation?
Is it okay if I read something that I wrote?
Sure.
Okay. Hello, my name is Rebecca Severson, and I live at 1742 South 62nd Street in West Dallas. I'm here today because our community is facing a growing problem of auto break-ins, theft, and property damage. I want to share my experience and propose some realistic, actionable steps we can take to address this. On June 25th at 3:36 a.m., my car was broken into in an apparent attempt at theft. When I spoke with responding officers, I was told that there wasn't much that can be done since it wasn't considered a violent crime. But to me, it was a violent act, an invasion that left me shaken, out of work for a day, and paying for damages I couldn't afford. Following law enforcement recommendations, I installed security cameras around my home, yet these break-ins continue, and often they're caught on camera. So I ask, why isn't surveillance enough to deter this behavior? I've spoken with Alderman Ray Turner, who agrees with me that there's more that we can do. Through that conversation, I connected with City Attorney Kale, and we've started discussing potential tools and strategies to better support local law enforcement. One idea is to more actively enforce the existing 10 p.m. curfew, especially since many of the break-ins captured on my cameras appear to involve minors and happen late at night. If we implemented fines or other consequences for curfew violations, we might reduce the opportunity for these crimes. Right now, curfew laws seem to carry little weight, while truancy and graffiti are enforced. Curfew violations are not. I've also talked to neighbors, people who've had their own cars broken into, and who were also told there's little that can be done. There is a shared sense of frustration and helplessness in our community. That's why I'm here. I believe we need multiple solutions, stronger enforcement, better deterrence, and practical tools for prevention. I'm committed to being a part of the solution, and I'm asking for your help and guidance in taking the next steps. The scale of this problem demands a meaningful response. We shouldn't accept that this kind of crime is just part of living here. Let's work together to change that. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you very much. Does anybody else wish to address the council under public participation?
Hello. Hate to follow up with that one with something a little less serious, but those of you who don't know me, my name is Jeffrey Hook. I'm the developer of the Union Green development on 64th and Greenfield that's under construction right now. I recognize this is not a place for feedback or discussion. I appreciate that, but there are some things that I've been struggling with that I think I need to bring to your attention because I think I owe it to you to share that. I'm here tonight because I care a great deal about the city. I currently live in the city of Milwaukee, but I think my West Dallas bona fides are pretty solid. I Walker Elementary School, Franklin Wright Middle School with Nathan Hill class of '94. My dad was the fire chief for 13 years. My parents still live in the same house that I moved into when I was 5, and I turned 49 next week. I'm extremely proud of my opportunity to contribute to the community that I grew up in, especially in that neighborhood and the revitalization. I'm very proud of that. Which makes me really sad to say that this is both the first and most likely the last development I'll do in the city of West Dallas. And here's the reason why. So these developments, these missing middle developments, they mean a lot to a community because they bring a sense of place, they bring a sense of scale. They're unique, they're not these cookie cutter 4-story developments that you see all over the place. I have 69 people on my interest list, and I haven't even advertised at this point. People want this development. But what's difficult about them is they require cities to partner with us. They're difficult financially. They require a developer who frankly has the expertise to do something complicated, but chooses to do something small. Now the Common Council, to your credit, you stepped up and partnered with us. It was fantastic. You created TIF number 20 to help make this project happen. You did everything you possibly could. For my part, I worked tirelessly to squeeze every single dollar I can out of this project, figuring out how to maximize value, how to minimize cost. I spend a ridiculous amount of time thinking about this project. My wife would acknowledge that I probably make about 50 cents an hour on this project at this point, but I believe that that's my responsibility and it's what I love to do. And I strive to have control over every part of the project I can. What I don't have control over, unfortunately, is code enforcement. And we've been really struggling with that a lot lately, and I've been reaching out, we've had meetings, we've had everything, and we're just getting nowhere. I'm gonna take a quote from a book called Building Small by the Urban Land Institute. And they have whole sections in these books that talk, they're specifically to municipalities. Mayor, we talked about this book. How you as a community can help these projects work. Because you want them, we want them, the community wants them. And here's a quote, it says, "Just visit the most appealing and authentic places, vibrant main streets and interesting neighborhoods in any town, and odds are they could never be built under today's codes and standards." The answer is not simple. It takes very different attitude by the agencies that regulate and oversee development from what tends to be common practice in the perceived role of regulation in most cities. It requires understanding that long-term economic resilience comes from a combination of maintaining community identity, adapting to rapidly changing markets, and embracing change through more flexible permitting to ensure that the economy stays vital and continues to thrive. More than anything, it requires working as a partner with developers to find creative solutions, not as a barrier whose role it is to administer the codes verbatim. Now we talk about but for with the TIF, and I've talked to Patrick about this, but for Mike Masmanian having been in his position a year and a half ago when he did this development, this project wouldn't happen. Because Mike was willing to work with us on a couple things that current code enforcement is completely unwilling, and they've told me they're unwilling to do. This work as a partner thing is completely gone in the code enforcement as it sits right now. I've worked with almost every municipality in the area over 25 years, and your department takes the opposite position of partnership harder than any other municipality in this entire area in my experience. There is no partnership whatsoever, and as soon as Mike walked out the door, not only did they not continue the partnership, they tried to rescind some of the things that we went to. Now, I took Patrick and Sean out to the site last week. I showed them some of the things that we're struggling with. They saw what we work with. They were part of the conversation. They saw it. You can feel free to talk with them about it. Don't take it from me. Every conversation we have the code, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, I just want to let you know you're getting close to 5
Okay.
minutes.
Okay, the point is, why is all this a struggle? Because I argue that code enforcement just doesn't care. And that sounds like an aggressive statement, but they've told me. When I told the electrical inspector that all of the things that are requiring make projects like this impossible to build in the city of West Dallas, his statement was, and I quote, "I'm good if no project is built in the city of West Dallas." That's the position of code enforcement. I'm good if no projects get built in the city of West Dallas. And when I reminded the current head of code enforcement about these agreements that I had with Mike Mesmanian and said, this project doesn't happen if those aren't in place, his response was, yeah, well, you guys set up a TIF because you wanted this project. And the people that you hand me off to are going the opposite direction and causing me problems every single day. And nobody cares. And it's getting very frustrating. What's going to happen is, like I told you, people like me who are passionate about this and want to do these projects and want to do these projects here. I started my business to do these projects here, and I'm going to walk away. And that's a shame for the city of West Dallas. And that's why I'm here sharing this with you. I know you can't act, there's nothing to do, but you should know what's happening on your behalf because it's making an impact, and this impact will happen over the next 5, 10, 15 years if you don't do something different. Thank you for the time.
Thank you. Does anybody else wish to address the council under public participation? Okay, seeing none, we will close public participation and we will move to item F. Our standing committees will be meeting during recess. They are at the bottom of page 1 on your agendas. If you are here for a specific item, whether it be a license or a permit or something that would be acted on during the recess meetings, please stop one of us as we depart during recess, and we will make sure that we get you into the right room. Moving on to item G, the mayor's report. I have a handful of things tonight. I just want to congratulate, earlier today, Alderman Rote and Turner and I were at the West Dallas Police Department as we swore in 3 new police officers to the department. I just want to congratulate those 3 individuals and wish them a very safe and prosperous career with the City of West Dallas Police Department. Tomorrow night, I want to mention this based on some of the comments earlier, the West Dallas Police Department is having its neighborhood partnership meeting right in this room on July 16th. The Chief of Police will host this public meeting. Topics will include an update on current law enforcement issues, crime trends, and challenges that impact our quality of life. There will also be a short presentation by the Community Services Officer, Corporal Scott Poklasny, who will be explaining his role and his responsibilities within the department as the Community Liaison Officer. The day after that, Thursday, July 17th, is our next summer concert series at Veterans Park at 69th and National. The band will be mixed tape, and there will be food trucks and family activities. It is free admission. The food trucks arrive at 5 o'clock. Bring your own chairs and blankets and kick back and soak in the sounds of summer. Also, next Monday, July 21st is it's not National Night Out, it's Night Out, because it's not on the day of National Night Out, so I'm not allowed to say National Night Out. Night Out, West Dallas Night Out, July 21st at the Farmers Market from 5 until 9. 65th and National events include concessions, games, inflatables, music. There will be a health fair. There will be food trucks, coloring contests, raffles, and police and fire demonstrations, all at very family-friendly prices. One other thing is, this is the longest mayor's report I've done in a long time. Next week, as many of you may have seen on the news or social media, Pan Asia Grocery Store at 69th and Greenfield is having their soft opening on July 24th. They are kind of starting slow to iron out the kinks, so I ask that you don't overwhelm them, but do check them out. And last, I just want to take a minute, since our last meeting, a friend of mine who lives over at Heritage House on Cleveland, Mike Vicchio, had his birthday on July 8th, so I just want to take a minute to wish Mike a happy birthday. Some of you know Mike. That does conclude the mayor's report. We'll move on to section H. Does anybody have any reports, alderpersons?
Mayor Devine.
Alderman Halverson.
Just a reminder that State Fair is coming up in a couple weeks, and I know it can be a burden for some of us that live in the area. Just remember that there's going to be new traffic patterns. I already saw DPW out on Washington and 76 putting up new fluorescent walkway signs, so thank you for that. Stay away if you got nothing going on around here, but if you do have to come down here, be a friendly host. You know, it's only 10 days. It'll be fine. But, you know, be a good steward for your city that you love so much. Thank you to DPW, fire, and police. They put in extra hours for this. So if you do have a problem, obviously, call the appropriate numbers. If it's a non-emergency, call the non-emergency number. If it's something worse, call 911. But yeah, just be kind. And again, thank you to the city for, you know, really making this more manageable and not as big of a deal, at least in my personal opinion, that it totally could be. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other alderpersons' reports?
Mayor Devine.
Alderman Haas.
I move for approval of the council minutes of the June 10th, 2025 council meeting and the July 1st, 2025 council meeting.
Second.
We have a motion, we have a second. If there are no corrections or adjustments, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The minutes are approved. We will go to standing committee reports. Public safety.
Mayor Devine, I move that we move items 3 and 4 to discuss in public safety.
Okay. Is there any objection? All right, so moved, so ordered. Move to item K. Alderman Haas.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor Devine. Do any alderpersons wish for separate action on any of the items in our consent agenda? And then seeing none, I move for approval of item K, our consent agenda.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion, we have a second. Let's do the roll call, sorry. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Alderperson Keen.
Aye.
Novak.
Aye.
Noling.
Aye.
Roach.
Aye.
Turner.
Aye.
Weigel.
Aye.
Grisham.
Aye.
Grobe.
Aye.
Haas.
Aye.
Halverson.
Aye.
10 in favor, 0 opposed.
Consent agenda is approved.
Mayor Devine.
Alderman Haas.
I move that the council stand in recess until the conclusion of our committee meetings.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We are in recess.
Sec here.
Just you three, because some
Okay,
people
we're
are
gonna
on my
call,
list.
we're gonna call Public Safety Committee to order. Let the record reflect that all 5 committee members are present. We'll start with item 44, 2020-4759, notification of intention not to renew certain retail alcohol licenses and provide licensees with an opportunity for a hearing. Failure to submit proof of seller's permit, Wisconsin Statute 12504, 5A, 4 Class B Tavern, Bronze Powerhouse, doing business as Bronze Pub and Eatery LLC, 7100 West National Avenue. There is an update that I'm going to allow Tracy to give everyone, and then we'll take separate action on St. Augustine.
Yes, so part of the requirements with the licensing renewals for the alcohol and tobacco is by July 15th of every year, I have to provide an update to the state of who we renewed at the end of the licensing period, which ended on June 30th. Something that's a new feature this year when uploading the report is they do a live audit of seller's permit numbers to make sure that they're active. So I submitted over 200 licenses on this report, and 2 kicked back as being inactive. 1 being Bronze and 1 being St. Augustine's. This happened on Friday. I reached out to Kale, the city attorney, and he advised me to reach out to both of the applicants and allow them the opportunity to resolve this. I checked the applications. What they submitted seemed valid. I don't know what the issue was. I reached out to both. Joe Braun contacted me on Monday. He resolved his issue immediately. I confirmed it with the state, so he's good. So there's no reason to non-renew him. St. Augustine's, on the other hand, when they applied for their renewal, they had changed their entity name. So that made their original seller's permit inactive. So the state told me just to have them reach out to the state. They can easily resolve it. I haven't heard anything. So we would need to make a decision on St. Augustine's / Barnabas on whether or not we would be putting them up for a notice of non-renewal because they have not resolved it.
Okay, and so to clarify, we would need to take separate action. Bronze did make right on his, so we would need a motion to place that on file, but also a motion for St. Augustine to receive that notification. So what is the recommendation? Do we separate this, or can we do a motion within the motion?
I think you just what you said, Suzette, we all understand it, we know what we're doing, that's the important thing.
Okay.
You can do it as one motion.
All right, then we'll do it as one motion. Bronze is off the table. St. Augustine will get notice of an opportunity for a hearing. Is there a second?
Madam Chair,
Yes?
that's the church, right?
It is.
Right
They-
next to the fire station.
They have a Class B beer license.
Right, it's a real, they're not using it all, just like for
For their-
card games and everything.
For their fish fries, right.
Yes.
I don't think it's a legitimate deceival
They don't have people
thing.
walking out the street
right.
like, hey, give me a
Right.
picture.
It's,
Red
they're probably
Solos.
church volunteers.
Okay,
It was
that's what
just
I
an
thought.
oversight. We're gonna allow them the chance to get it right.
Understood.
So,
I'll second it.
Okay, so there's a motion and a second. Is there any additional discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Moving right along, we have item 45, R 2025-2715, resolution to update municipal court deposit schedule related to THC possession, delivery, identity theft, and operating vehicle without owner's consent. Is there a motion, or do we need discussion?
I move approval.
Okay.
Second.
Okay, there's a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. Now we're going back to which item?
3 and 4.
3 and 4, okay. All right. I think we can take these together. Would you recommend that? Okay. So we're going to have 3 and 4 taken together. It's 02-025-0044 and R2025-2003. Ordinance to create general provisions for processing of CBD, THC beverage retailer license applications, and resolution amending fee schedule to create CBD, THC beverage retailer license fees. And I'm going to yield the floor to Alderman Halverson. This is your sponsorship, so you want to give us an update?
Sure. Yeah, just talking with Kale on, how to roll something like this out. It's new for everybody. So what I suggested was retailers get a 14-day warning to obtain a license, and then they just get a warning for any other violation, but could be cited for a subsequent violation on a later date. It also imputes any warning to the manager as a warning to all employees. Since the licensing year starts July 1st, we're making the date up until 26. What is it, July? Yeah, after July 1st, 26. It's basically a warning provision up until then.
Okay.
So it's a long period of time, but it gets a very broad chance to get everybody on board, get the next licensing year off to a better start, and then, within a year, everybody should be clear and on board.
Okay, I have one question.
Sure.
How is notification of this going out to the current licensees? Is there any communication that's being sent out, or we just,
I have spoken to the
Email?
attorney's office about that. I don't know if Attorney Decker has a game plan on that or not, because not all licensees who sell liquor sell THC, and not all establishments that sell THC carry liquor. So we need to figure out our best.
I would suggest, and I don't know if anyone is disagreeing on this, just do a blanket, rather than having to try to figure out who does. If this applies to you, this is what we're doing, is how I would approach it.
To
Or
all
suggest it
businesses
to
that
all
have a
businesses
license?
that would be serving this product. This is a new license that's required. That way you don't have to, go through all of those applicants. I think that would be very time consuming for you.
Yeah.
But that's the only thing that I would recommend going forward, is that we not leave it to warnings and actually put some sort of communication out there. So,
sure.
that has nothing to do with this though, so that would just be my recommendation.
Got it.
All right, does anyone have any questions for Chet? Okay, is there a motion?
I move approval of items 3 and 4.
Okay.
Second.
Okay, there's a motion and a second. We had discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Looks like we have finished our agenda. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Patty, you waiting for us?
How long you were going to be?
We're done. We're coming.
done. Well, we're done
Thank
as
you.
soon as we get the motion.
Oh, motion to adjourn.
Okay, and is there a second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned.
All right, get out of here, Kevin.
Very nice.
administration? I think, yeah. Good evening. We'll call the council back to order, and I will ask our clerk to take a roll.
Alderperson Keen.
Here.
Novak.
Here.
Noline.
Here.
Rote.
Here.
Turner. Weigel.
Here.
Grisham.
Here.
Grobe.
Here.
Haas.
Here.
Halverson.
Here.
10 present.
We have a quorum. We will begin with the Administration Committee, and I will turn it over to the clerk to read out that report.
The Administration Committee recommends adoption of items 33 and 34, adoptions of item 35 with the amended reduced total, and approving of settlement of the items of 36 and 37.
Mayor Devine, I move in accordance with the committee report.
Thank you, Alderman Weigel. Is there any discussion? If not, I will ask the clerk to call the roll.
Alderperson Keen. Aye. Novak.
Aye.
Noline. Aye. Rote.
Aye.
Turner.
Aye.
Weigel.
Aye.
Grisham.
Aye.
Grobe.
Aye.
Haas.
Aye.
Halverson.
Aye.
10 in favor, 0 opposed.
Okay, motion carries. And we're going to give the Public Works Committee the night off tonight. And we will go right to the Economic Development Committee. And I will ask the clerk to read out that report.
I'm going to read out item number 40 separately. So the Economic Development Committee recommends a granting of items 38, 39, 41, 42, and adoption of item 43.
Mayor Devine, I move in accordance with the committee report.
Thank you, Alderwoman Keene. Is there any discussion? If not, I'll ask the clerk to call the roll.
Alderperson Keen.
Aye.
Novak.
Aye.
Noline.
Aye.
Rote.
Aye.
Turner.
Aye.
Weigel.
Aye.
Grisham.
Aye.
Grobe.
Aye.
Haas.
Aye.
Halverson.
Aye.
10 in favor, 0 opposed.
Motion carries. And next up is public safety, and I'll,
Yeah, we gotta do 40.
oh, I'm sorry, the separate action, thanks. Item 40, if you want to read that one out, Madam Clerk.
The Economic Development Committee recommends granting of item 40.
Thank you.
Mayor Devine, I move in accordance with the committee report.
Thank you. Is there any discussion on item 40? All right, I will ask the clerk to call the roll.
Alderperson Keen.
Aye.
Novak.
Aye.
Noline.
Aye.
Rote.
No.
Turner.
Aye.
Weigel.
No.
Grisham.
Aye.
Grobe.
Aye.
Haas.
No.
Halverson.
Aye.
7 in favor, 3 opposed.
That motion carries. Now, we will go to the Public Safety Committee.
All right. The Public Safety Committee recommends passing of item 3, adoption of item 4. For item 44, they recommend placing on file bronze notice of non-renewal and sending a notice of non-renewal to St. Augustine's Church, and adoption of item 45.
Thank you.
Mayor Devine, I move for approval of the Public Safety Committee report, but I believe that Alderman Halverson has a few things he'd like to say on item 3 and 4.
Thanks. I'll turn it over to Alderman Halverson.
Thank you, Mayor Devine. This is just for posterity, and this isn't an indictment on us as a city or a council. But thank you for voting on this to show you that this is something that's on everybody's mind. Milwaukee just voted on something similar yesterday. It's going to be signed by Mayor Johnson probably today or tomorrow. We as a municipality shouldn't have been put into this position to make a municipal rule like this. This is a state issue, and I think it's a failure on them for not voting on some sort of comprehensive legal way where Wisconsin can safely have THC anything. We're in this weird nebulous position where we'll be able to at least track it. But if you go to any other states, track the sales and consumption in like a bar or any place that would sell this. But if you go to any other states that have had legal marijuana, you actually have to still go to a dispensary to do all this stuff. And it's just like, we're in a very awkward position. And I just really wish the state would do more and kind of listen to its constituents and its, municipal leaders on this matter. But again, thank you, everybody, for taking this up, and I appreciate it.
Thank you, Alderman. Is there any other discussion on the Public Safety Committee? If not, I'll ask the clerk to call the roll.
Alderperson Keen.
Aye.
Novak.
Aye.
Noeline.
Aye.
Roach.
Aye.
Turner.
Aye.
Weigel.
Aye.
Grisham.
Aye.
Grobe.
Aye.
Haas.
Aye.
Halverson.
Aye.
10 in favor, 0 opposed.
Motion carries.
Mayor Devine,
Alderman Haas.
I move that the council stand adjourned until our next scheduled meeting, Tuesday, August 12th, 2025.
Second.
We have a motion and we have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? We are adjourned.